Good morning, everybody. Hey, I hope we've solved our connectivity issue. Anyway, welcome back to Exotic Car Play Place. And today we want to talk about something near and dear, and it's our dream cars. And I spoke last video about having the passion for the dream car, having the passion for your car. And I want to reach out to all of you. And first of all, welcome you all back. We know that driving your dream car is something we all aspire to do. So again, welcome back. Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Exotic Car Play Place. Welcome back for anybody who hasn't been to the channel here at all. Welcome any new viewers, any older viewers. I really appreciate it. Good morning, Kevin. Thanks for stopping in. And I just want to drop a line here. What I want to say is, you know what? Above and beyond, I feel absolutely blessed because I have such a passionate group of viewers here. Now, last live stream I did basically with my phone. Vertical live streams work, they're good, but I like doing this desktop ones better. And I've had some connectivity issues here with my internet here at home. And so I hope I solved that issue. Let me know if it seems good. If I'm flaking out, please do drop a line down there in the comment section or whatever that is, right down in there. If you're finding any issues with the internet speed or me pausing or delays. But really today I want to talk about, are you finding affordability a real problem these days with buying a dream car? Or you're going to make it happen no matter what? You know, we know it's a priority, driving your dream car, a car that you really love. You want to go out there, you want to buy it, and you're going to do it at all costs. I mean, I'd like to hear your thoughts. That's because we know the cost of vehicles. I mean, none of us have endless amounts of money. So the real question is, do you prioritize it? And are you finding problems and difficulty in buying your dream car today much more than you were, say, 5 or 10 years ago? I'd kind of like to hear from you. And so again, welcome back. Anybody who was trying to dive in here this morning, I had a little bit of a connection issue, but I think we're sorted. I think we're good. We're going to keep the thumbs up. So this really does boil down to the idea of affording your next dream car. Do you find it's more of a challenge today than it ever has been? I mean, Promised Land Garage says dream cars are really hard to make it nowadays. Only millionaires, YouTuber sell fantasy and look easy from Puerto Rico. I would say there's a lot of that. And, you know, I'll be the first to admit, I did finally manage to buy my dream car, but it didn't come easy. And I'll be honest, like my daily driver is a beater. And I've been driving a beater for quite some time. I love driving fun luxury cars, performance cars. We all love that. But yeah, it definitely takes it takes a lot of discipline, takes a lot of luck in a lot of cases. And it seems like the growing pool of people that can afford that seems to be going down a little bit. Thanks for the honesty. You betcha, 100%. It is. It's, you know, I managed to buy my dream car. But again, this has been something I've been working at for years. And it's funny because when you look on the internet, there's everybody talking. You see all these people, hey, my first Lamborghini at 21 years of age. When I see those videos, I think that's hilarious. I mean, whether your dream car is, you know, a new Mustang, whether your dream car is a new Jeep, whether your dream car is even that new Corolla, because you just always dream of having that new car. But more importantly, and most likely, your dream car is going to be something a little bit more interesting. It's probably going to be a luxury car, a Mercedes or a BMW. Are you maybe looking at a car that maybe you're now looking at a 2 Series BMW where 5 years ago you were planning on buying a 4 Series BMW, but now, you know, the budget is dwindling away, your buying power is reducing. Do you find now that you're having to make concessions? Kank, Lanson, Arkan, exotic cars are great to look at, especially the showrooms. Seems like more practical cars. Yeah, I would say more people now are looking at probably the practical side of car ownership. But that doesn't mean that you can't have a dream car. Or have you ever been to Vegas? You know, you can go into Vegas and for a couple $100, you can go drive your favorite exotic car on some of the tracks, you know, that race Vegas or whatever. That's a great way to get into it. Have some fun, run the wheels off for a couple $100. You don't have to worry about gas, insurance. You don't have to worry about buying that car. You can just go out there, drive it for a handful of laps, get your kicks, and move on. So there are opportunities to enjoy and afford to buy, or maybe not to buy it, but drive your dream car. Sank Lassen says, what is this? 8 Series is my max of the max, or S Series, sorry. And Kevin, social media makes everything look easy, but it's not. I don't see myself buying a Lambo or Ferrari. First, I don't have the money. Second, my priorities are different now. Yeah, and I think we're starting to see more and more of that. The priorities are shifting a little bit, and people are looking at, what it takes to, just to make ends meet these days. And it's a real sobering thought. I mean, it's a sad state that we're in today, where, it's not the same place we were in 10 years ago. And I think most people are seeing that, we're having to run our cars longer. We're having to buy used instead of new. But there is a light at the end of this tunnel. And I'd like to kind of talk about that a little bit, because I believe that while it is challenging and new cars are getting extraordinarily expensive, I do believe that the value comes in maybe buying something slightly used. And this is something that I've been doing for years. And a lot of people kind of, automatically default, I can't afford a new car. I can't afford a new car. But you know what? I've lived almost all my life, with the exception of one car, I've pretty much bought everything used. We've bought all our luxury cars, all our exotic cars, everything that we've driven, we've always bought used, because I too, like many of you, don't find the value as much in buying something brand new. Rather, you can get all the same fun out of your dream car, and buy it used for half the money. John Thompson says, I can't ever own my dream car. It's a McLaren F1. They cost about 20 million pounds in the UK. I'll never own one. Dream cars are about impossibility. And I think, John, that's a great point. There's that element of your dream car that should almost be unobtainium. For me, an F1 is definitely one of my dream cars. I promise you, I'll probably, unless I win the lottery, I'll probably never buy that car either. The F1 is one of those legendary cars. I'd love to have a Murcielago, a gated SV Mercy. That's another one of my dream cars. I'll probably never own it. A Ferrari F40. I may never own that either. But you know what? We've got to have dreams. And for some of us, the dreams are a little closer and more attainable. Some people, it might be getting that new M4 BMW, and maybe you were close 5 years ago. Maybe it's further today. You know what? That's definitely a possibility. The Wolf says, I own X3 MC, M850 Hellcat, Red Eye, and don't know where up from here. Exotics aren't as usable. I meet your heroes situation. Yeah. If you can't own your dream car, your dream's too low level. And then John also said, I'd love to, a D85, or what is that? D85 with an ejector seat. And that's also not going to happen. See, that's the thing, right? The dream car can be as crazy and as extravagant as you want it to be, or it could be something a little bit more attainable. I'd spoken my last live stream, and a lot of you were in there for that. And I was sitting in my dream car, and I so feel blessed to actually having made that happen. But it's taken me years to do that, and it's with tolling and grinding and hustling and just that push and that grind. And I finally made it happen. And I want this channel to be one which is more about making your dreams happen. We know that there's restrictions. We know that a lot of us have limited income. We know that the cost of living is rising. We know that the challenges are real, but it can happen. It happened for me, and it can happen for you. What do we have here? 62 Della says, I caught the car bug in the late 80s, fell in love with the 60s and 70s Maserati GT. Yes, which is that we're very reasonable. Even some of the Lambos today cost versus salary a hard reality check. Um, that is true, but you know what? You could still get in some cool exotics like a Gallardo early generation. They're still hanging around that, on US 80, 90K for a decent one, 100K Canadian. So that's not cheap, but it's the same money now as a new pickup truck. So I guess what I'm saying is it does feel in some cases some of those dream cars are still somewhat attainable. Um, Marlon says, in your opinion, where is the best online shopper for a used car? Car Gurus, for sure. Car Gurus is my favorite spot. I look on Kijiji, Car Gurus, Marketplace is kind of a joke these days because there's so many scammers and it's kind of hard. You sort of have to. I go on there, but it's more of hold your breath. John Thompson says James Bond's D85 Aston Martin is yeah, for sure. Any of the Aston Martins. You know what I came across in Aston here yesterday was out filming. I was actually out filming a video about the best Nissans of all cars, and there's a couple of dream cars in there. And I have that video popping out here in a couple of days. But the only Nissans I would buy, and I spoke of that. And there's one of those that would be considered a dream car for many, and definitely a dream car for me. But while I was out filming that video, I came across a nice older Vantage, and it was a manual Vantage. There aren't many of those. A lot of those flappy paddle junk, but it was a manual and it was white and it was gorgeous. And I'm really debating whether that car could make its way to the garage. But Adrian says, for me, the dream car is a good pickup truck, tow a boat and a camper. And now I'm thinking about getting a bike. That's what I mean. Like everybody's dream is a little bit different, and having that diesel truck or a pickup truck that does all those things. You haul the family, haul the boat, haul the camper. I mean, it does everything, and it supports your lifestyle that you want to maintain. And it could be an outdoor lifestyle, and the truck is one of the best things. I do want to drop a line. We did introduce a new vehicle to our fleet. We have a new vehicle for the fleet we bought here actually last week. And I'm going to be doing reviews on it. I'm going to introduce it in the conversation. We bought another vehicle. It's used because I do find the best bang for buck in buying used vehicles. But I want to introduce that slowly into the channel. I want to share with you one of our new vehicles, and it's an attainable vehicle. It was a dream for mine. I had one years ago, sold it, and we bought another one. Added it to the fleet, and I want to talk about that here coming up. But it's very affordable. Sank Lasson says, I drive a Mitsu Outlander and I still love it. Why not? Absolutely. If that meets your lifestyle intent, sure. Why not? For me, like Corolla or, right? Like, what else can I say? That's not a dream car, in my personal opinion. Not for me. Some people will find that. That's why, as I was speaking on the last video, life's too short to drive boring cars, that the channel is going to get back to the heart and soul again. And it is about your dream car. And your dream car can be a Miata or a Mustang or a Camaro or a Ferrari. And it can be any of that. But what makes you tick and what constitutes your dream? Alistair says, hey, brother, how are you? I hope you enjoy your new wheels. Oh, I'm loving it. Absolutely loving it. I might actually take it out for a spin here this afternoon. I'm debating. I got a couple of little errands to do, but I love that thing. It is phenomenal. Alistair says, I have a 22 Toyota Harrier on its way from Japan. I should have it another 10 days. Awesome. I'd like to see pictures. Maybe text me or email or something. That sounds cool. Some of those old Toyotas, like some stuff you find in Europe and other markets, are cool that we can't get here in North America. Dr. Trolge says, I love the old Jaguars, one of my dream cars, an 07 X. I love the XKR. It's a shame what Jag's been doing here recently. Of course, with some of their network crashing, and of course with the rebranding and the car models. It's just, I feel for Jag. They definitely have some uphill challenges for sure. John Thompson says, I really feel passionately that dream cars must be aspirational. I love your Ferrari. I'd never be able to own one, but it's still not. But it's still not a dream car. The LaFerrari is a dream car because you can't own it. Um, and yeah, I mean, it's again that unobtainium piece makes it kind of your dream car where it's just outside of the reach. And the car that I bought was one of those vehicles that was out of reach. And honestly, in another life, I never would have dreamed. Actually, 7 or 8 years ago, I never would have dreamed that I would have bought the car I did. I never ever would have dreamed it, but I made it happen because I made it a priority and I made it one of those things that I really wanted to have. And I think all of you can do that. If it's a truck, if it's a special classic car, even at Mercedes, the Unimog, I even dreamt about buying one of those. Those are so cool. John says, I love your videos. It's awesome to hear people who are passionate about cars. Absolutely, John. And I think there's a shrinking group, but what I'm starting to see, while there's a shrinking group right now, sort of there's a quiet wave of people coming up that are still appreciating some of the great driving cars, the cars that drive and motivate passion. So I do appreciate that, John. And I think it is important that given the light of, it feels like the world's full of noise and chaos. Why don't we just like refocus on those things that we love? Cars. I drive these luxury cars. Some of them are many of considered unreliable. Some of them are considered heavy depreciating assets. Some of them are considered high cost of servicing. Some of them are considered in a lot of ways. But one thing that I will say, there's a common theme here. They all provide a lovely driving experience. I'm going to take that second look back because I love the way they look. I love the way they drive. The ergonomics are nice. They perform well. And for me, that's why I buy these cars. And I think it's important for us to take a look and say, life's short. Why do we just constantly live in this world of, where, everybody's telling us we should buy a car that's just the most affordable, most practical, most responsible. Why? I mean, that's cool for a daily, but sometimes, why not just splurge a little bit, have some fun? Hey, I'm in my 50s. I don't care. I'm having fun right to the last days. And so that's why I want this channel to be an inspiration. It's an inspiration. Now that YouTube's kind of making some changes, they're changing the algorithm around again, and they are coming back. They're re-looking at my channel and the passion that I bring. And honestly, for a lot of you OGs, you'll know what I'm about. The fun, luxury, exotic, supercars. But really, it's about the experience, is the why, the how. It's not so much the what. The car is the what. But what motivates us and why? Because we enjoy living our best lives. So let's take a look at some comments here. 62 Delta says, my dream car is an M1 BMW. Not going to happen. So now all I want to do is collection is a BMW 2800 Bavaria or the 3.0 CS. Those are great cars. Like, there's absolutely amazing. You know what? Even something, a few years ago, you could still get the old M3, the E30 M3. Remember those with those are amazing cars, basically like a Cosworth engine and naturally aspirated, high revving, just an awesome car. There's some of the old classic BMWs are awesome. Same with the old Porsches, some of the best cars that you can get, but that's great choices. Eric says, my dream car is a Porsche 991 GT2 RS. 100%. GT2 RS, can't touch that. That's awesome. Father and son Ferrari Rescue, good morning. Hey, glad to have you back, Ian. I'm glad to see that you're back and visiting the channel. I know you have that passion for cars. It's clear with your channel as well, and it's pretty obvious to me. So, we see the light of what having cool cars is all about. I mean, this goes back 30 years ago, right? I think we can connect up with that. So glad to have you back. Good morning. I'm getting cold too fast in Edmonton. My father is slowly looking to sell his multi-car collection, mostly 50s Fords, some perfect, some need some TLC. Yeah, it's kind of sad, but maybe that's an inspiration, to focus on, and obviously, spending some time with the next generation And was that next generation, um, as some of them are also showing interest in these cars, it's great to nurture that those attitudes, and having projects with, with I know with my son's taking more and more of an interest in having some of these fun cars around, as you might be as well. And your father, obviously, he was an inspiration. So it's, on one hand, it's sad to see some of that. On the other hand, it's nice to know that a lot of that experience came from those relationships that I had with my father. Maybe you maybe with yours, and as the generations go on, these cars are sometimes just the catalyst. And I see that it's the catalyst to enjoy relationships with peers, with other car lovers, with our kids, our parents, our fathers. And these cars are great, and a great way to break the ice too with some of that. So also, a father and son rescue says also has nice 80. What is that? 84 380 SI suite. That's awesome. Chevy SSR brand new. Think was 500. There was a time when those. I have a friend that's actually got one of those too, and there was a time when they were almost considered. There was kind of those folks that thought, okay, maybe there's a collectability in that because it's sort of really going retro. The SSR is kind of a cool, unique vehicle. You see the odd one rolling around, and it sort of jumps out at you. Clutch says, I'd love to get a 90s RX-7, but they're stupid expensive. Totally. The 93, when they came twin turbo, I love those cars. They're so cool. I was going to buy one. I had an 88, and it was the older style. Mine was a GX manual 5-speed. It was a cool car. And so, again, you ask yourself, have an RX-7 or a Toyota Corolla?